I just like the fact that every new group is angrier than the last, though. I mean, don't know where this is going to end. But let's move on to libs of TikTok. They've been kicked off Twitter. This is actually quite a sinister story. Again, you know, relating to social media. Libs of TikTok has been kicked off Twitter after it exposed a hospital in the United States for having performed hysterectomies on poor, you know, misguided teenagers. What did Libs of TikTok do wrong, Alexandra?
You have to put it in context. So Libs of TikTok is already on the outrage meter for anybody in the left, because what they do is they take videos from TikTok posted by basically Democrat supporters who are really out there on the fringe, and they puts them on Twitter to a bigger audience, and people think that they are hysterically funny or really scary. And so the Democrats don't like this environment of being exposed. So they already hate Libs of TikTok to start with. Well, then a couple of weeks ago, Libs of TikTok started to look at these gender affirming clinics. There were two hospitals, one in Boston and one in, I think it was Washington. And both of these hospitals were offering gender affirming surgery such as hysterectomies, and they advertised it as being from basically young children all the way through plus 18. Now, on the last one, the founder of Libs of TikTok actually called in and said, I've got a 16-year-old, is this surgery available to my girl to, you know, have a hysterectomy? And two staff members confirmed that that was the case. Now, that went viral because obviously most people think that doing that to a young girl for any reason is not correct. And the hospitals had to come forward. They had a lot of hate mail, a lot of receipts, and then they confirmed, oh, we don't really offer it. They changed their websites and it was all hushed up. But the question is, how do those mistakes happen? As the Libs of TikTok founder actually pointed out, you know, if you phone a hospital and said, I'd like to get my hands cut off because I don't like them, no one's going to say, yeah, sure, I'll book you an appointment. But multiple times when these hospitals are called, they seem to confirm that, yes, they will offer dramatic surgery to these young children. And it's only after public pressure and public outrage that they correct the record and say, just kidding, no, we don't, it was a mistake.
Just kidding,
and
yes.
And that's Libs of TikTok's point, is if you don't keep exposing these mistakes that are in print on these websites, well, how many of these actually flow through to genuine surgeries? We don't know.
Well, this relates back to what you said earlier. It seems the easiest way to get kicked off social media is by telling the truth. Just before we go, we've only got a few minutes left, Alexandra, but can you tell us, why is the truth so provocative to some people?
The truth is damaging to their business model. So it turns out that a lot of this fringe activism that's very profitable for government departments and activists is actually not popular in the mainstream. So as soon as it gets exposed to a wider audience and that audience says, hey, hang on a second, society is not on board with what's going on here, well, that damages the businesses and the governments that are proposing it. And so suddenly there's a whole lot of sunlight and they don't like what they're seeing, and the government has to try and back out of it. So it's easier, it's quieter to just, you know, put a little algorithm in and silence this debate so that you don't have to have the discussion.
Well, they won't silence us here at ADH TV. Alexandra Marshall, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you for having me, Fred.